Hey there everybody, Code Pika here. Welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts Re.Chain of Memories, Reverse Rebirth. It is time for us to actually get with our boy Riku and start to go ahead and see how he plays compared to Sora. Sora is now asleep. He's now resting in the pod to be able to grow up and when we get to Kingdom Hearts 2. But what has Riku been doing as Sora was asleep, or during his adventure in Castle Oblivion? It is time for us to head into Riku's part of the story of Kingdom Hearts Re.Chain of Memories, and it's completely different compared to Sora, and a lot shorter too. So, let's enjoy the first cutscene.
Where am I?
Stay asleep.
Who's there?
You should remain asleep. Here, between light and dark.
Between what? The king! Where's the king? Together we close the door to darkness. After that?
You came drifting here by yourself. You did not have the strength to overcome the darkness. Or maybe you were close to it.
As if I'm some kind of demon.
Turn from the light. Shut your eyes. Here, blanketed by the darkness, sleep is safety. Sleep is eternal. But
What's this?
it is a door to the truth. Take it and your sleep ends as you take the first step toward the truth. But know this, the truth will bring you pain. Will you still go? There is no return to the security of sleep.
This seemed like a boring place to take a nap anyway.
That was very well said, Riku.
A door to the truth, huh?
Well, now we can already see a little bit of a difference between Riku and Sora. Well, first off, Sora gets an opening while Riku actually does not. He just gets a cutscene. And the difference between Riku and Sora's story, Riku gets a set of keyblades, or I should say cards, for each world. They are randomized, they're not always the same. Sadly, however, the cards that we have now, we will be able to use them in the next world that we're heading to, but you cannot customize them. You can put a shortcut on them to go ahead and give you which card you want to show up first in your deck, but other than that, there's not really much else. The battle system is the same, except unlike Sora's story where you had like an abundance of Heartless attacking you, Riku, however, they lowered the number of Heartless that actually spawn within each battle. The reason for that is Riku doesn't really have a lot of AoE attacks that allows him to kill opponents faster, so they kind of limited down the Heartless number to like bit of like 5 or so, or sometimes 7, depending on how much they want to put in. But other than that, we'll be going through the same worlds as Sora, except it's gonna be in a little bit of a reverse order. And the thing with Riku's story is that the worlds that we're going to be traversing through won't have cutscenes like this. This is there's only like, I think 3 times in 3 worlds, I want to say, where you will have cutscenes that are like this. Other than that, everything else is they basically give you the key, the first key card, the key of beginnings, and you head to the boss door, and then that's it. So the thing about all the worlds is that they're going to be relatively short. They're not going to be as long as you think. But I will go into detail as to what I will be doing when we go to the next world. Like, I would probably say, like, okay, we're probably going to do this for this world and, you know, all that other stuff. But other than that, we'll be getting into the first battle with Riku, and then we'll be getting into the introduction of the 3 stats that you can actually upgrade. Because Riku actually does have a unique stat upgrade compared to Sora. It's actually something I kind of wish that was in Sora's story, but I can understand why it wasn't in Sora's story, mainly because each Keyblade is different, while Riku only has 1 Keyblade, which is just Soul Eater. So as we can see here, we can actually get into a battle system, and the difference is that you are attacking normally, just like all willy-nilly. You don't have any slights unless you are in a specific mode. And you also notice that you don't see a number in the reload system. The reload is instantaneous. You just click it once and boom, all your cards are back. You will always have 1 unique enemy card in the game in each and every single world. Sometimes that enemy card can be useful, sometimes that enemy card can be not really worth it. Sometimes the enemy card is useful for the world's sake because of the enemy types that you're fighting. And you also have HP, attack, and darkness points. We'll go into more detail of darkness points in the next episode, but attack boost is something that you always want to end up getting. Because with attack boost, you will essentially increase Riku's attack power, so that way he can be able to kill his opponents faster. You can actually see the difference, but the thing I should warn you, you won't be able to level up attack boost consecutively. You can only level it up like once or twice every single round, and that's really about it. They kind of don't want you to become too overpowered to the point that you start one-shotting every opponent. But to be fair, if you're going after the attack boost every time it pops up, I will say this, it will help you in the long run, because the mode that is not really exclusive for this mode, but the thing that you can do that's exclusive to this mode, that's called a dueling system, which we will learn more in the next episode, because as of right now, you're getting the feel of this mode normal. Like, you're just fighting the enemies normally. You're not really doing any sort of big damage at all. I'm gonna say this now, HP, as much as it will make you go ahead and level it up, I'm gonna say it's actually kind of pointless, because enemies in this game can still kill you. This is being done in post for obvious reasons, because like I said, you guys already see me go through these worlds, so I'm kind of shortening how Riku's gameplay is going to be, and it's going to be a bit important in the long run. So you're going to be seeing like kind of awkward cuts, but it's going to be cuts that is going to be like, alright, so you've seen all the Heartless, you've seen all the fights, you've seen all the bosses. The bosses I'm not going to cut out, because there is a bit of a strategy for them for the most part. And obviously, you know, the talking cutscenes I'm not going to skip over, because why would I do that? That doesn't really make any sense. So, alright. So, for right now, Riku is going through Hollow Bastion, and we're kind of seeing a bit of a glimpse of what he was doing and what kind of room he had when he was hanging out with Maleficent. I kind of wish that they did more with this in the other worlds, but to be honest, they kind of shorten all the worlds by just giving you the key beginnings and heading straight to the boss. The other difference I should state is that when you are going through these worlds, after you have fought the boss, they don't send you to the Conquerors of Spite. You will have to traverse back to the Conquest with Spike. Unlike with Sora, where they kind of just warp him to that area, you have to walk all the way back there. It sucks, but they only do that so that way you don't have any sort of capabilities of, you know, worrying about anything. That's just how it rolls, you know? But yeah, I kind of wish that they did this a little bit more, but they didn't. I don't know why. It doesn't really make much sense, but hey, whatever. I'm not going to really complain much about it. It's kind of stupid, but I don't mind Riku's story. It's a lot faster. It's a lot more entertaining. It's a nice bonus for people who have managed to suffer through the original Chain of Memories and Re.Chain of Memories, because playing as Riku it's interesting. I wasn't really expecting them to go ahead and just outright letting you play as a different character, and this is kind of the start of when they start to make you play as different characters in the KH series, because I guess like it was so well received that they started to do that a little bit more in other games, so you don't have to just focus on playing the main character. Because, you know, obviously Kingdom Hearts is an RPG, and most RPGs you're allowed to play as other characters that's not the main character. Like the Tales of series, you can be able to play as, you know, Colette or whatever, or not Yuri, or, you know, not the main trio or whatever. So it's a nice change of pace. It gives you a different play style for the most part, even though Riku does play the exact same as Sora in this game for the most part, but he does start to play differently in other games in the series. For right now, he just plays the same like Sora. The only difference is he has a different mode that's going to be very unique for him. I kind of wish that it was a little bit better. I mean, it is better, but the thing is that if you get hit, it kind of dissipates, which sucks. But like I said, I'll go into more detail with that a little bit later. But as of right now, we're heading to go fight Maleficent, because the bosses are all the same. They're not different in the slightest. They are literally one-to-one the same. The only difference is that I want to say that they don't spam that hard on you, obviously, because since Riku is very limited on a lot of things. So yeah. There is one thing I will warn you about. You will have to be a little bit slower on fighting your opponents, because if you use slights willy-nilly, you will lose. Because Riku, even though he has quick reload speed, it will take a bit to realize that you actually will start to lose all your cards if you just spam your attack button rapidly. And this fight here, I will showcase what I mean about being a little bit slow and actually thinking on how your opponent fights and using the card break system to your advantage. Unlike Sora, you could use the card break system to your advantage, because I'm not sure if it's only in this game, and I mean in this version of Riku's story that does it, but I want to say that Sora also has it too, where if you break a card, your attack strength is increased. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong on that, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. Anyways, Maleficent's just gonna go back into her dragon form, and we're gonna go ahead and do this shindig and listen to this very awesome music. I still like Chain of Memories' soundtrack. But anyways, for Maleficent Dragon here, strategy is as follows. You want to wait for her to go ahead and initiate her attack cards first before you initiate yours. Once you end up breaking one of her cards, you want to go ahead and just use the 3-hit combo. And that's relatively it. She doesn't really do that much. Use a slight card when she ends up using 8, because sometimes you might not have that 8 card to be able to break it. So just using the slight will be able to help out a great deal. She will use like the occasional 0, 7, 8, and not 9. She would actually never use 9. But that's really it. She will always use like 1 and 5s, and that's really it. It's not really a hard fight. As you can, tell by just how easily I'm taking her out. This fight was a lot. Like I said, if you spam attack cards like crazy, you essentially will lose. I mean, you can still, it's kind of impossible to lose this fight, but you never know. I don't know. It's, I don't know. But yeah, another thing I should mention, since Riku basically has like the automatic card system, he gets something that's better than Sora. He gets to use every single boss card at his disposal. You can kind of make that as a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of make it as an indifferent thing because on one hand, I like that I can use the boss cards all willy-nilly. On another hand, there are too many bosses in this game to a point that the cards kind of get a little bit cluttered and it's a little bit hard to shuffle through them and try to find the one that you want. But anyways, that is the end of this episode of Riku's story. And we'll be going through more. So as I stated before, I will explain how I'm going to be tackling these worlds and how these worlds are going to be done, because I will say this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter playthrough compared to Sora. Sora was a little bit longer because there was a lot to explain for each and every single world, but for Riku, not so much. But anyways, I've been Pika, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next electrifying episode of Kingdom Hearts Re.Chain of Memories. See yas!